Good evening. How are you all? I have come back again after a successful test the other day. In about an hour's time, I am going to be previewing my show Stolen on Zoom. And I'm going to be competing with quite a number of other comedy shows around the world. But what gives me great comfort is the fact that I am going to have at least 10 or 15 people come to watch the show called Stolen. And it's a different audience. This is the third preview I am having on my show, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't really have much I want to say today, and this is just in preparation for my show in an hour's time. If you are interested, good morning, Mr. President from the United States. Good evening. This is around 7 o'clock at Baghdad. And that means we have, I don't know what time it is where you are, Master Jake, but thank you so much from the United States. I have a follower from the United States, a subscriber. That is great. So like I was saying, I have a show in an hour's time on Zoom. I'm expecting at least 15 to 20 people where I'll be previewing my show called Stolen. It will be the third time I am doing it with a different audience. I am looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't have much to say this evening, but I just wanted to address Twitter. It's such a very odd platform to be in or on. And it's no surprise that Donald Trump got banned forever. I woke up this morning to check my tweets, but also to use it as an opportunity to promote my show on Zoom. Considering I have 3,700 followers or so, I thought that at least 10% of them would want to come and see my show. But nobody so far has responded to say they're coming. Whereas on my fan page on Facebook, I've had a number of people say they will show up, which is good. It goes to show that on my fan page, that's where we have lots of dire fans, lots of really important Laughter Republic citizens. Then I scroll down Twitter. I think Twitter, they make so much noise on Twitter. If they're not attacking the government, depending on where they live, they're attacking one another. They're trying to outdo each other in terms of opinions. It's such a very toxic environment. I have never come across a tweet that actually addresses happiness, that actually is positive. It's either this person has done this thing or this person, and they make opinions so that they can get retweets and likes. The more retweets you get, I suspect it makes you really, really happy as a human being. But it's so false. It is really so false. People think that they can get rid of their governments by just tweeting and attacking their respective leaders. I'm currently under house arrest in Britain, and I noticed that Antenna Turner, whatever her name is, she used to be a broadcaster, I think. She's now a celebrity, tweeted something that has offended so many people. And now they're talking about canceling her. They want to cancel her. I suspect she could be canceled on Twitter. But is she being canceled in real life? I don't know how successful that's going to be. But what did she do? Antenna Turner is one of those who believes that you need to take care of your body and you need to have a healthy lifestyle so that we can save the NHS, so that the NHS is not burdened in any shape or form. And she tweeted a cartoon of a slim woman next to a disabled woman who was obviously sitting on a wheelchair, overweight. And I think the disabled woman, based on the comments, said to the slim woman, "You are putting us at risk by not wearing a mask." You see, one of the things I have realized, I am no expert at mental health issues, but one of the things I have realized during this lockdown everywhere around the world is I know for a fact that there are lots of people who are having mental health breakdowns. People are not being as rational as they should be. They're not being logical as they should be. You don't even have to be a mental health expert to know that there is an issue with people acting normal. That is why when I am interacting with people, especially during the lockdown, and if they offend me, I don't get really offended because I know that these are difficult times and people are not being logical. So I take whatever they say with a pinch of salt. And you know, if this particular person was suffering from some kind of mental health issue and you are all attacking that person on Twitter, what do you think your tweet or your opinions will do to that person? It is very rich for someone like me, an undemocratic leader, to bear, to be able to express this to civilians around the world. Stop taking what people say during a pandemic where people are frustrated, where people, their mental health condition has got worse during a pandemic. We all know that the lockdown is having an impact on people all over the world. So why do you have to get really angry? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And you see, the thing about it is that, who knows, for a couple of hours, everyone will talk about what Antenna Turner did. And then it dies, and then it moves to the next news. Then I found out that Justin Timberlake has apologized to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson for what he did to them. I don't know what he did to Britney Spears, but I remember that concert, the Super Bowl concert that everyone gets crazy about all over the world. Even non-Americans get crazy about the Super Bowl. And I know that Justin Timberlake, I remember that scene where he removed something off Janet and we saw her boobs. And genuinely, we thought that was the end of her career. But the world has moved. And should Justin Timberlake have apologized? I don't know. Some people are saying that he should have apologized before the social media pressure on him. I guess he's apologized so he doesn't get cancelled. I don't know where this canceling culture has come from. Maybe it's my age, but do you honestly think you can cancel a dictator? That is really the question. Do you believe that you can cancel a dictator? Maybe if the American government was involved and they invaded a country of a dictator, then they're not supporting. Anyway, like I said, I didn't have much to say. I know there are two people viewing me. If Master Jake is still here, I want to thank you, or it's Maker Jake rather than Master Jake. I want to thank you for joining me all the way from the United States. I leave you with just one message, and the message is this. During a pandemic, especially with the lockdown, especially with people being isolated. There is bound to be anxiety and stress. There's bound to be people acting not normal like they normally would do. So I say to you, with all due respect to those who are watching me from all over the world, take it easy with human beings. This lockdown seems to have divided so many societies and so many countries. People are fighting one another, attacking one another during the pandemic, when in fact, what we should have is a situation where you are all united. It is really, really important. Thank you, Master Jake, for joining me. This is really important. And I wish all world leaders were able to take all this into account. When you look at the responses from all over the world in terms of COVID, it is clear to me that Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand Prime Minister, has led and has shaped the way your so-called democracy should be. She has been decisive, and the country is ripe for invasion from Laughter Republic. But on a serious note, she has done extremely well. Haven't you also noticed that the leaders, without mentioning names, who suffered from COVID have not really been able to lead their country properly? They have been chaotic in their responses. And as a result, we know for a fact that once you have COVID, there are long-term effects. And it's quite possible that maybe that is what is affecting the leadership of these people who have had COVID. I will never ever understand why countries are not working together to get the vaccine. It's as if everybody was running around. We have to be forced. Britain has to be forced. Oh, we have 3 vaccines. We're the best. We're the greatest. Where is that humanity? Why are people behaving, thinking more about their country rather than thinking about the world? Where does Africa stand with this? How many African countries can afford vaccines? How many African countries can create their own vaccines? Why are African countries not in a position to create their own vaccines? There is something horribly wrong with the world. Something horribly wrong with the way the world is constructed. It's as if some countries are more important than the others. The suppression of other countries for the advantage of superpower countries needs to stop. Every country should be equal. Every citizen from every country in the world should be equal. But we know that is not the case. I fear for poor African countries who are going to have to rely on the Western world to get their vaccines. It's a real shame. The world is not equal. The world is not divided. It's a selfish world. And if it continues like this, without unity amongst nations, without unity amongst human beings, then I fear for the world. I want you to pass this message on to your leaders, be it from the United States, Germany, Nigeria, wherever it is. It is selfish to think about just your own without thinking about others. It is really important that there is unity around the world. It is wrong for one country to try to suppress another country for the sake of its progress. It's really important that there's unity across the world. I wish you all peace. Now that I have got the hang of live streaming on YouTube, I intend to do more of this. I have roughly about 47 minutes before my new show starts on Zoom. If you are interested, please inbox me. I will send you an invite. It is going to be a fantastic show. It's one of the shows that the media will never talk to you about. It's not a show seen by E4 or BBC Studios. Not a show seen by Fox News or Al Jazeera. Not a show seen by NBC or any of these other mainstream shows. But it is a fantastic show, if I say so myself. So thank you very much, and I shall see you tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. I know when I will be here. And I urge my subscribers, even though I haven't given you a time, make sure you're here to watch me, or there will be trouble.